Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Just waking up here, so I gotta get some coffee ASAP. Good morning, Ibrahim. How are you, brother? Good morning, everyone. All right, let's go. What's today? Still sleepy here. Today is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. All right. Well, bulls continue to be in control. They just keep pushing. Don't short these bulls. We look at the 4-hour. We're in that 4-hour ascending channel that has been playing out for quite some time. Right here, boom. Literally just extended. And we keep going in that channel. It's been respecting it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 last night, 2. So bulls continue to be in control. We are approaching the top of that channel, though. Up on the 1-hour. We're approaching that. So as far as what's the game plan for today, we have gapping. We're gapping up, so potential gap fill reversal. It all depends on what they do up here at current overnight highs. Are they just going to gap and go and continue to push up, or are we going to take some type of pullback for continuation? One thing I do know, it's careful shorting these bulls right now. Overnight high set again during, all-time high again set during the overnight session. Crazy. Ibrahim, we have Trump talking 1 hour, 15 minutes after open today. Okay, good to know. I think he's on at 11 a.m., right? Trump makes an announcement at 8:15 my time, so that's what, 11. Let's take a look at the news. Yep, Trump makes announcement at 11:15 a.m. Other than that, we got crude at 10:30. Fed speaker already spoke. So 10:30 and 11:15. Then we got some Fed speakers after that. So hopefully by the time Trump speaks, we're done. Philip Hogan, good morning. Welcome to the stream. So that's the plan. We're looking at possible gap fill reversal. In other words, somewhere around this area. If we're going to continue to flush, overnight low would be the next area for potential bounce. So let's see, unless these bears decide to flush. Philip Hogan from Ireland. Nice. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you. Good morning and good afternoon to anybody overseas. So big, as far as the game plan, if it's going to be a gap and go and they're going to push up, we're going to have to find some type of pullback up here. If they're going to take a pullback for a potential gap fill, the gap fill is down to about 955. I may attempt to short it on the way down, but it all depends on how they play that. Gap fill would be all the way down to about 940, 950 for a potential bounce. Got an initial support area around 922. So let's see how this plays out. Philip Hogan, what do I need on my side to set up my charts like you? Well, the charts are really just based on, look, right here, 20 and the 200 SMA, right? Those are my main indicators. Second. The opening range breakout, the 9 EMA, this blue line is the 9 EMA. Then I have overnight high, previous day high, previous day close, previous day low. Those are basically the levels. Chart trends, good morning, good morning. Chart trends in here for about 10 minutes, getting his winning trade of the day and walking out. All right, 5 minutes for the open. So yeah, I'm looking at potential gap fill and maybe looking at the gap fill reversal play for a bounce, but I may hop on that short towards the gap fill. It all depends on how they do this today. If it's gonna be a gap and go, it gets tricky because I got to wait for a pullback to participate. So we'll see. Philip Hogan, I'm on the 1 minute, but I also watch the 5, the 15, and the 30 on another screen. Bulls keep pushing it. Anytime, Philip. Thank you for tuning in. Ibrahim, that is true. There's a lot of people thinking short. So this is why P for patience. Let's just see how it plays out first. They could gap and go. They've done it before. Philip, yes, I do trade on the 1 minute. I execute on the 1 minute, but I also have on different screens the 5, the 15, and the 30 minute. Lemonhead, good morning, brother. Super Earthman, what's going on, brother? I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you back. Hope everything's been good with your trading and you're killing it. Well, you're usually killing it, so not worried there, but glad to see you. And bulls continue to push. They're not giving this up yet. We got 4 minutes. 4 minutes. 3 minutes now. They continue to push. How far will they go? Is this going to be a gap and go? Is the question. Ibrahim, I smell manipulation. All manipulated. Super Earthman, glad to be back. Had to take some time off, but I'm back now. How's your trading been? Super Earthman, good. So far, so good. Keep plugging away. Trying to stay alive. Chart trends. I mark the open price. Everything above open is long and everything below is short. Targeting half gap or full gap to settlement. A higher target could be 24.52. So I'm looking for a similar short shark. I'm going to wait for the open and potentially attempt a short towards the gap fill. But it all depends if they gap and go. So we are at 2 minutes into the open. Casino opens in 2 minutes. Casino opens in 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Casino is now open. Here they go. Initial pullback. We fix overnight high here, up here somewhere. Good morning, Peter. All right, here they go. They're getting feisty. Are they going to push up? Or are they going to flush this for a gap fill? Ooh, my entry was bad there. That was a delayed entry. Not good. All right, I'm stuck now. But I am targeting some type of pullback here. I'll have a stop somewhere around 60 if it gets bad, but I did get a bad entry there. That market order cost me about 10 points. Looking to enter around 40, and it got me down all the way down to 30, so I'm got a bad entry there. All right, let's see if the pivot point's at 60. That's my stop up there. Got a really bad entry on slippage there. But it is what it is. All right, we're at the pivot point. And let's see if we can take some type of pullback here towards gap fill, but a little bit bad on entry, about 10 points lower than I wanted to. All right, and I think I'm gonna have, if they don't pull back here, I'm gonna have to let this one go. See if they can flush below the 9. If the 9 and the 20 EMA start becoming support, then I'll have to clip. Ooh, that was not good. All right, here we go. Let's see if we need to push below these moving averages. This should have been my entry right there at 940, 945, but I don't know what happened. Had some lag and got a really bad entry. What happens when you do market orders during the open? All right, still bouncing off that 9. We're not flushing below the 9. Need a little flush. There we go. All right, there's the 20 now. Going to have to test the pivot point again. And they're pushing. I think I'm going to have to let this one go. Well, let's see if they can flush below the 9 and the 20 and give us the pullback that I'm looking for. At this point, because I caught some drawdown, I'd probably target that 200 SMA if we get down there. And chopping, still consolidating. Still unable to flush below the 9 and the 20 SMA, 9 EMA. Attempting to flush below the 20. They can flush below the 20, then there might be a play downside. If they use that as a bounce, then I'll have to stop out of the last wick. Bears trying to push. Happening yet? Getting close. They're teasing with that break. All right, there's the break of the 20. And they hold and continue to push. Okay. See if they can continue to push. Struggling. Struggling. .40 opening range, 50-minute opening range. And first 15-minute candle, you're right, it's a doji. Indecision. Eventual reversal on pattern. All right, here we go. Selling pressure starting to build. And they flush this. Okay, here they go. They're starting their move. Not making it easy. And I'm going to set, if we do get the play, I'm not going to get too greedy on this. I took some drawdown already. It's my target for now. Ugly. Testing the 9 and the 20 again. Oh. And attempting to flush again. Let's see if they can get it this time. So far, it came down to that 20 SMA on the 5-minute and bounced. It's battling. Bulls are starting to push again. Could have been the bounce area. Big boner candle. Let's see if they push above this high here. At that point, I'll have to get out. My entry got pushed down 10 points. I was looking to enter at 945, 950. That's some bad slippage there. But it is what it is. Nasty chop there. Divergence on the ES and NQ this morning. ES making higher highs, NQ making lower highs. All right, attempting to come back down. They need to flush below those moving averages again. Otherwise, they're going to start building support there. Bill Hogan, if you're talking about broker, in other words, a live account, Interactive Brokers in the US does allow trading on TradingView. If you're talking about prop firms, there's a lot of prop firms you can use that you can trade on TradingView. Take Profit Trader, you can trade on TradingView. All right, here goes another attempt to flush this. All right, let's see. We got the 200 SMA, we got VWAP around the 10 area. Question is how aggressive I want to get on this. Took some drawdowns, so I think I'm going to let it take the TP there. This could be a potential flush to about 980. I'm going to get a little greedy here. Go for 990. If we see a flush below the 200, I'll hold the TP. If it starts bouncing, then I'll probably clip it at this point. It's a nasty selling candle. That could be the bounce. Go for 92 here. We need to flush. There we go. Getting close to that level. Come on. Keep going. And looks like a bounce at the 200. And a bounce at the 200. That's all we got. So may have to clip it now. Nasty chop there. I'll ride the chop for a little bit longer. Here they come again. Looking for that 990 level. I'm at 992, but I got to watch the bounce here. If they bounce it here again, then might as well take the profit. Damn choppy, doesn't want to give it to me easy. All right, it's coming to that level. Making it easy. Come on already. Come to daddy. You know you want 990. Come on. Let's go already. And we got it, boys. 990. All right. So caught a little bit of more drawdown. That was my fault. My short was supposed to be at 945, 950. I don't know what happened there, but I entered at 930. So I got 10 points of drawdown that I didn't want. But that was a good trade. We are nicely up for the day. That level 920 could be the, I'm sorry, 980, 990 could be the bounce area, but I'm not touching it for a while. We can go all the way down for a full gap fill, 955, but I'm okay with this one. I'm okay with this trade for now. Stuck to the guns. I knew that I was, in other words, the reason I didn't panic, my entry, I knew my entry, I hit enter at 945, 950. It flushed me down to 930, so I knew that I was 10 points lower on my entry. You don't let that flush you out. So, all right, I'm good with that trade. Let's see what happens at that 980, 990 level. That's the target on my short. If they're going to do the gap fill, then 950 is next. Lemonhead, I appreciate you. Had a little bit of up and forth, back and forth, but you got to play levels, and I'm trying to stick to levels versus freaking out over wicks. Peter, the reason I didn't panic on that one was I knew mentally my entry was at 945, 950. So my drawdown really was 15, 20 points. I got unlucky. When I hit market order, it gave me an entry of 930, which was 10 points below where I wanted to. But we'll leave it alone for now. That was unlucky on the entry, but the trade that I was planning on, even when I spoke before the open, that's what I was targeting. So I'm going to take a little break. If the bulls are going to bounce it here, there's a lot of opportunity to hop on a long. So let's wait for it to settle down. I'll be right back, guys. First trade, nice little trade. Unlucky on the entry, but good trade nonetheless. I'll be right back, guys. Shark trends. I think by the end of the day, we will see something between 761 and 804. Thoughts? Well, we need a pullback, right? I think that's what they just did. They trapped anybody thinking we were going to push over all-time highs. That's why I was short bias coming in. I mean, you guys heard me. I was pretty short bias coming into this. So if we break 4-hour structure, I wouldn't be surprised, Shark. But I'm going to cool off for a little bit here. If we come down to full gap fill, in other words, this area, I'll watch for a potential bounce. This could just be a tease trapping some bulls, or anybody that was trying to long for all-time highs is stuck in some drawdown or stopped out. This could still be a tease and we still have further continuation. I'm not convinced yet that this is the bounce. Normally, you guys know what a bounce, like a squeeze, like a short squeeze bounce looks like. They push that up pretty quick. We're not seeing that. Bears are in control right now. Yeah, I'm upset because when I hit market order, it was right here. And I don't know what happened with the delay. I got 10 points taken away from me today. So let's see what this consolidation here brings us. But we caught a nice, 40 points on that trade. All right, here they come. They're probably going now for the gap fill. I'm not trading the gap fill now. I'll play the reversal down there for a quick scalp. But this could be a red day, and I already got my short in. Gotta be careful. All right, so now they're looking, they just hit that 990 level, right? So next level obviously is going to be settlement, 950 area, yesterday's close. That would be a full gap fill if they get there. So they are going for it. I'm not going to chase it. I got a little more than halfway through on my trade. It's more than enough for me. I don't need the full move. But we're still not seeing the typical bounce, right? Short squeeze to the upside. So I think there's more to it. So first level was success. They consolidated at that level. That confirms that level for me long term. Now, next level, like I said, is 955, 960 area down here. I'm not hopping on that short. And then we got to look for the bounce, right? That short squeeze, but it has to be an aggressive. If the bulls are going to go off their all-time high, they'll do the gap fill and then bounce really aggressive. And then at that point, you can play a nice little gap fill reversal to VWAP or something like that. But so far, VWAP failed. We came to that 990 level that I talked about. They came, touched VWAP 200 SMA, and rejected. So could be a red day. Good thing is I got my red day trade already, so no need to rush it. So let me bring in my levels chart. You guys will understand the thinking behind that trade. Oops. This is the levels chart that I use on the other side. So again, my entry was supposed to be 945. Targeted this level. Here's the next level. Here's the fallback level. And then if we continue, then we have a 4-hour level down here if we're really going to have a red day. So that's why I stuck to the trade. But I played it based on a level. All right, looks like it's bouncing there. Sorry, guys, I'm setting something up here. Where is my... Let's go. We are in a descending channel. You guys can see it here. Know how bears play descending channels for the last 3 weeks. They play those channels to a T. Here's my watch list. All right. All right, what's it doing here? Diego Peña, good morning. Peter Chan, look how they trapped the bulls on top at 9:38 a.m. Yeah, that was a trap. They broke the previous high at 9:34 by only 1.25. Yep, right here. Boom. Now what I'm watching for is, we know this 990 level held, right? That was my exit. Are they going to bounce it here, which is a delayed bounce? In other words, we're not seeing a short squeeze. So we got to be careful that they don't use this channel to continue, and that would be a 40-point drop for the gap fill. Now I may have to call it a day here. I'll tell you guys why. My master account and all my 150Ks at this point are $500 from passing. I have one straight to funded that needs another $1,000. So with today, I'll show you guys my progress on the 150Ks after the blowout. While NQ does its thing, let's take a look at progress. So today there's the 1,045 that I'm up already. This was the blowout day, and on a winning streak. I gotta be careful I don't blow it. I'm $500 away on several accounts on gold. I only have 2 straight to funded right now, and those are about $1,000 behind because I didn't start trading those until this Monday. So I'm pretty close to payout now. I'm 2 straight to funded. Overall, it's been a good comeback after that blowout. 90% win rate. 26 winning trades, 3 losses. But overall, my volume, my trade size or numbers is pretty low. In other words, I don't take that many trades throughout the day. So let's see. Let's not jinx it. Hopefully we can get to payout, even if it's by Friday. I don't care. Or even if I pass these accounts till Friday, Monday, no rush. Yeah, we're getting close. $8,500 profit over the last 2 weeks. So I'm okay with the comeback. It hasn't been crazy trading either. You guys have seen it either during the morning session or the late night Asia. Diego Peña, good morning, sir. Good morning to everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I'm in watch mode now. Let's see what happens from here. 990 was the initial level they targeted. That was my out. And let's see if they're going for the full gap fill. Chart trends. I have Apex. The master account is Funded Futures Family, Funded Futures Network, and my straight to funded is Tradeify. But yes, I'm on a crusade for Apex right now. To rebuild my accounts on Apex. Apex will continue to be my main prop firm this year. All right, so slowdown came to that level, and now consolidation. Are they going to pump it here? Or are they going to continue? Chart trends. I only have 150Ks now, right now. 150Ks. So their drawdown, I believe, is 5K. Yeah, max loss limit of 5K. But I switched to 150Ks this year, Shark. Last year, I mainly traded 50Ks. But I realized that I was getting a lot of payouts, but also blowing a lot. So this year I switched to 150Ks. I've gotten less payouts, but I've also blown less. And I only buy trailing drawdown accounts. Static, while it sounds nice that the drawdown is static, they give you less drawdown on static accounts. Most prop firms, Apex, day traders, Trade Day, they offer those static accounts, which in theory sounds good, but you lose drawdown compared to an intraday trailing drawdown. So, all right, here they go for the gap fill. Oliver, how many Apex? Just 10. And they're still all evals. None have passed yet. Close, but none have passed yet. All right, so here's that channel we talked about that, from the bears, and we can adjust this channel for other high. Actually, let's leave it there as look above and fails. But we know what these bears do on these descending channels. They play them to a T, and there's that 40, 50 point drop that I've talked about right to gap fill. I'm respecting bears in their channels. I paid dearly a couple weeks ago. Now, if they flush the gap fill, we're in for a red day. All right, pretty damn close to a gap fill. Now the question is, are they going to be able to bounce this at all? Otherwise, bears are having their day. Indeed, nice morning for the bears. I agree. Now we're watching for the short squeeze. If they bounce it here at yesterday's close, or they want more, they want overnight low. Of course, if they flush below overnight low, then at that point you're switching to bear. Oliver, my Mossad agent here with his second identity. Oliver is really elderly. Shalom, shalom. I'll call you our Mossad agent with dual identity. Thank you for tuning in, brother. I appreciate you. Too bad I have paper hands. I might be done. I caught a risky little short there. My entry was unlucky. Market order took away 10 points on my entry, but is what it is. Still walked out with some green. Oliver. All right, so they made the gap fill play. Now the question is this a gap fill reversal for a bounce or continuation? At this point, I'm not touching a bounce until we see true short squeeze action. All right, hold on for a second. Let me see something here. Let me look at the 15-minute real quick. So here's overnight low. If they flush overnight low, we got some weak structure. We can tank. Overnight low needs to hold. Otherwise, look at the weak structure below that. Low levels. So that channel is playing to a T. I'm not touching bear channels anymore. Not messing with them. Lemonhead, that NQES divergence at the top this morning can make for a nice signal to add to the mix. Yeah, anytime you have divergence with NQ and ES, as long as you're on the opposite direction of ES, and in other words, confirming divergence, that could be a nice little signal to stay. Because if I remember correctly, you were saying that ES was already pushing up to all-time highs, right? Yep. Yeah, it looks bearish, and to be honest with you, I think I'm going to lock the profits in between this morning's trade and last night, the trade that some of you saw. I'm up $1,000, so no need to continue to push this. They're playing that channel. I I don't mess with bears and their channels anymore. Learned my lesson. Oliver, buying 3 more TPT accounts with your code tonight, going for the full 5. I'm actually finally going to get some more Take Profit Trader accounts today as well. Now that I was a little careful. Like I said, you guys saw my blowout a couple weeks ago. Usually when I have a blowout, I'll buy some accounts, but I go easy. Now I think confidence is back up, and we'll start buying some more accounts. At the end of the day, there's no rush either. Only competing against myself, so. All right, that is the gap fill. Are they going to pop this now and reignite the all-time high? Chase? Lemonhead, if you can't beat them, join them. The Bears, yes. Fortunately, I got my little short for the day, so that's a good comeback on trying to long these Bears. All right, here's the moment of truth. If they're going to flush down to overnight low, and what happens there? If they continue to push down, bulls are in trouble. All right, now they're going for overnight low. Below that, you're in bear zone. You're in confirmed bear zone. They're going to pop it. Short squeeze from here. Not quite. It's not yet. All right, let's extend this channel. They're continuing to play that descending channel that these bears have been known to punish. I'm not messing with it. All right, so this is where a lot of bulls are entering. You got your gap fill reversal play at this level. The question is, it's not bouncing. I mean, it's not our typical short squeeze bounce, but let's see. If they can't pop out of that channel, you got another 955 down to about 920. You got another 20, 30 point play to the downside. targeting next level, overnight low. So they had one look above and failed, two look above and fails. See this one. No short squeeze bounce, but no flush either. Which way will it go? Casey up from here. Casey is saying this is the gap fill reversal play and the bounce on the full gap fill. Listen, that's a solid play. It looks like a slow bounce. If they can get above these moving averages, then we'll start seeing the bounce. Problem is we're too close to overnight low. I think they want to test that. If they can't get out of that channel, then you're talking about 960 down to about 920, about 20 points, 20, 30 point flush to overnight low. Casey, I'm worried about the overnight low. Yeah, that's the only problem down there is they're that close. I would think they want to tap that. Peter Chan, no bounce. Yeah, man, I've learned my lesson. Don't mess with bears on a move down, especially in a tight channel like that, until the 30-minute changes. Forget about the 5, forget about the 15. I'm with you on that one, Peter. Unless there's a change on the 30-minute in terms of direction, stay the hell out. If they do flush this level, like I said, the next one would be 920 around that overnight low area. And they'll do typically what they've done in this channel, right? They top you, flush you, top you, flush you, top you, flush you, top you, and that another flush or the bounce. We'll see. Either way, I'm not interested. All right, here comes the flush. They're respecting that channel, and that's what they do, man. They hover around those tops, make you hop on along, and they flush you right back down to the bottom of that channel. They've been doing that for 2-3 weeks in a row on the bear moves. Not falling for the long here, trying to long a falling knife. At least not yet. Peter Chan, gotta put on my personal trader hat and go to work. Oh, brother, I didn't know that was your world. We gotta chat. Good stuff. Peter Chan, our personal trainer here in the stream. Have a great day at work, brother. I'm closing it pretty soon too. I think I'm locking in the profit, walking out. All right, undecided at this gap fill. All right, here it goes, gap fill reversal. All right, I'll be right back, guys. All right, guys. Yeah, look at these bears faking those bounces and flushing it right back down. I'm not trusting bears today. That's 2 traps for the bulls, and they went for overnight low. If they flush overnight low, then it ain't stopping there. See if they can flush below overnight low. We're gonna extend this channel. Like I said, I don't mess with these channels anymore. I learned my lesson. See if they overnight low is the bounce area, or are they going to fake another bounce and flush it right back down? I'm not trusting this bounce. All right, guys. Either way, I think I'm calling it for today. Nicely into green. No need to put myself in a bad situation here. So I think I'm going to let this go. There's that overnight low touch. Not yet. Looking for it. And they're pushing. Bears are picking up steam again. Another leg below overnight low. Boom. There's your touch and no bounce yet. I'm not going to try to long a falling knife. That's your overnight low touch. Are they going to flush from here and continue? Or is that over and we get a little relief bounce? When I say relief bounce, not these, 20-point bounces we've had so far? That's nothing. 935, 970, that's about 30, 40 points so far on a bounce. Pushed it right back down. Need a girthy green candle before we even consider this a bounce. Asqueroso. Jesse James. Sucio. All right, here goes that flush. Jesse, you woke up late, brother. Come on, man. You got to wake up early. You missed the play. Well, the play's still continuing. I think the Bears are going to continue to flush this today. Lemonhead, take the win and enjoy the day. I'm out as well. Time for the 9 to 5. Good luck all. Yeah. King Caesar, good morning. Everyone's showing up late today, huh? I'm done. I got my green trade, and I'm walking out. This is a repeat of 2 Thursdays ago. A descending channel, and I ain't trying to long a falling knife today. Calling it. Lemonhead, thank you for tuning in, brother. Have a great day. All right, so they are flushing overnight low. Wow, this has more red today. At this point, they may want the pivot point down there. Yeah, all the way down to 840. And if they flush below overnight low, you got weak structure. I showed it earlier on the 15-minute. Once you get below this level, look at the weak structure coming back down to 780 is your next level. So I'm not touching it. at the green for the day. And I'm going to call it a day and enjoy the rest of the day. All right, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm going to walk out with that one and done trade. And look at that. This is a repeat of 2 Thursdays ago. Learning my lesson, not messing with it. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow, 9:15 a.m. Eastern, walking out with some green today and getting close to passing several 150K evals. We're getting closer. Have a great rest of the day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.